What's happening, fellas? Feast your eyes on this absolutely stunning machine here. This is a winner for me for many reasons, and before I get into telling you why I think of the bike's a winner, I want to tell you, a wise man once told me, stick to your game, Ken, and the winning will take care of itself. My game is motorcycles, and I've been in the game for a long, long time, actually well over 50 years, and I'm completely obsessed with motorcycles, and Triumph is a mark that's near and dear to my heart for a lot of different reasons. Well, my dad had one when I was a little kid, and my first real street motorcycle was a Triumph Daytona 500, a 72, and Triumph really knocked it out of the park with this bike, starting with the gas tank. Look at the, I didn't even see the gas tank at first because the shocks caught my eye, but after I got over the absolutely stunning set of $1,500 Öhlins gold-plated piggyback shocks, everything else started popping out. The absolutely stunning blue paint job with the Triumph logo and the black and white pinstriping, the gold forks, the Brembo dual piston calipers and the massive floating dual rotors on the front, the gold chain, the massive swing arm, the Enduro style rear fender. This looks like something you'd see on the Triumph that Steve McQueen rode across the desert in the 70s. I want to rip my shirt off and do it with Steve McQueen wheelie up the street here. You know, I just and guys, the first time I took it for a ride, this is Uncle Dale's, aka Heavy D.
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's great to be back.
We were down in Daytona Beach, Florida, and we figured we'd stop by and see Heavy D, and he surprised me with a ride on this thing, and you know, man, I just, the bike really, I took it out on a ride, and it kind of took my breath away because I've been riding a 700, this 700 gas, which is all corked up and it's really silent. This thing's got straight pipes on it and it sounds nasty. I took it for a ride and I was like, okay, I can't wait to go, do some drag lights. So what are the drag lights, Christy?
Oh, those are my favorite.
What do we do?
We race.
Everybody, right? And
everybody. Anybody and anybody.
And on our 140 horse turbocharged Harley, we never lost a race, but I was thinking this would be a kick-ass drag lights bike. And I came back and Dale goes, whoa, you gotta go out again, And I go, why? And he hits this button over here and it comes up and it says on the dash, sissy mode. Actually, it didn't say sissy mode. It was like, what mode was it?
That was in your everyday docile 100 horsepower mode.
So and he puts it on pro mode, which is, how many horses is that?
It's
much more.
It's only like 110 horsepower,
but it's a light bike.
It changes the personality and it hits like a sledgehammer.
Dude, so I went back out and first, second, and third gear, it comes up. I'm doing 90 miles an hour in third gear, and the first time I only went 90, but I did 90 in third gear, hit fourth, fifth, 100 miles an hour, off-road only, officer. So, and I just was, the way it sits up high, look at the shocks on this thing. Would you just look at these guys? Look, if those don't get you excited, you don't like motorcycles. Look at the adjustability on these for spring preload and compression and rebound, and
also they're just down at the bottom. You can adjust the rebound.
That's a rebound down here. And look at the quality of those shocks. That's a $1,500+ set of shocks. The thing handles like an absolute dream. And with this ground clearance, you could definitely jump this off a loading dock and do your best Steve McQueen impersonation. Maybe jump over a fence. I don't know. And the fairing. Let's go there. You'll never see another one of these in the United States of America. Dale, tell us a little bit about the fairing. Tell us a little bit about the bike. I got to ramble for a while about it, but I want to hear your perspective. What turned you on about this bike?
I seen the movie when Steve McQueen jumped the fence in The Great Escape. Yeah. As a young man, and I always liked Steve McQueen. I always liked Triumph, so I bought a Triumph Bonneville 750 that I donated to the New England Motorcycle Museum.
It's a forever bike.
That I rebuilt, and I always had a love for these. And a buddy of mine from Cleveland said they're coming out with a Scrambler, and I'm waiting, and they came out with a couple different versions. There wasn't anything that really impressed me until this came out. This is a 2022 1200 XE. Now they also have another one called an XC, which is a kind of a sissier suspension, sets much lower to the ground, doesn't have all the travel, but it's the same motor, same performance. So I seen this, I went down to my local Triumph dealer, and the rest of it was history. Had to have it.
Did they have you at hello?
Yes.
It did me too.
So the guy says you got to put it in the different modes so you can feel the difference. So I don't know why they have 4 or 5 different modes. When you want to put it in pro and leave it there, it totally changes how the motor hits, how it comes on. I took the factory exhaust off of it that was similar to the XR 750 style with the two cans on it. I bought a set of stainless steel drag pipes. There's no cat in it. The pipe's got a little bit of restriction just to keep it from popping and farting. But the tune in it's perfect.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to have it. I wrote it and I said, that's it, Kenny's got to take this for a ride. So I surprised him with it today. But just growing up as a young man, I've always liked Triumph. And this is one that they hit the ball completely out of the park. It does everything well. It's kind of like if I could only have one motorcycle, and I'm a Harley guy, I may have to have this. This would definitely be my end of the world bike.
Amen.
Give me a 22 semi-automatic, pistol, and this bike, and some gas, and I'm cruising, shooting zombies.
Dale, did those covers? These look badass. Are these custom with the pipe?
This is
that whole kit?
Yeah, this is all.
This is all custom. Oh, that's factory right there.
Right.
There's 3 pieces.
Yeah, and the number plate heat shield.
Oh, that's the number plate.
Yeah, I put that back on it after I put on the, the drag pipes. They don't give you the hardware to do it, so with a little bit of jerry rigging, I was able to put it back on with some stainless steel.
It looks awesome.
Clamps, but the bike is just, it's a blast to ride. I put a couple little odds and ends on it, but getting to the good part, at 100 mile an hour, the wind would blow you off the bike. There was 0 wind protection. That's the only thing about it that I didn't like. It has a road capability. I've had it up to 125 mile an hour and still had throttle left. So I ran into a guy when I was over in Switzerland, and he was from Italy, and he had one of these bikes, and he told me about this fairing that he had on his bike, and I'm like, where did you get that? He said, I not only made it, I'm a dealer, I'm from Italy, so this guy gives me his information, and I called him up, I ordered it, they had it 4 days later from Italy down here to Florida, and put it on. It's plug and play, and it's $1,030 for the windshield and the side wind diversion plates. It's not only stylish, it's really functional. So way north of 100 mile an hour, you're not getting any wind on you. The windshield is adjustable. I've got it set to where it blows it right up to my forehead level. But you don't feel yourself backing out of it because you're holding on too hard. You just, hammer down with it now. But I've rambled enough on it. I love it, and I'll give it back to Kenny.
Dale, the fairing, at 100 miles an hour, I'm wearing a loose do-rag that's a little worn out. It usually gets blown right off my head, and it didn't bother at all. I crouched down a little bit. The fairing is at 10. The thing I really like about the fairing is the guy who designed this must have been some kind of a genius, because not only does it look like it belongs on the bike, but it's the bare minimum size and interference for an enduro looking bike, but it gives you a sport touring capability. And these hand guards too at 100 miles an hour, there's no wind blowing up your sleeves. Really well done. How do the people watching us buy this fairing? How do they get a hold of this guy?
It's called Unit Garage, or that's how I say it here.
UNIT.
Yeah, UNIT. They're from Italy. They have a great website that's so easy to use, but if you look at their design here of their nameplate, if you look down on the motor, they kind of mimicked all of this stuff with the holes drilled in it.
It looks factory.
It kind of looks like it's supposed to be on it. Was not in any conversations with the people when I ordered it, their website is so simple that you go on it, you log the kind of bike you have in it, and you pick what you want, and you assemble the bike, and you're building it right there. You're looking at your bike. You can dial in the color. They have a whole host of stuff where you just came back from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Dakar.
Okay, this guy that has this company, they build all types of racing conversion kits for BMWs and Ducatis and all the European bikes. So I haven't studied the guy enough to